And then go ahead, Saja.
Hey, Saha.
Hi there. Hi Greg. Hi
Hey,
Sam.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm actually good. My foot's doing pretty good. Everything's good. But I had this question, and
Mhm.
it's I got some turmeric from you,
Okay.
and then I read this article about I mean, my thought about using it is more for like anti-inflammatory, and I
Mhm.
was capsules. I was making my own caps out of the powder. But anyway, I thought, oh, that's great. Just take a couple of drops of turmeric. And I don't know if I'm on the right page with that or not, but okay, but this is my concern. I read an article about how they've been doctoring turmeric to make it look more yellow and putting some like lead. I don't have the exact facts, but but my question was, is your turmeric, do you know that your turmeric is
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have to, like, when I get the stuff, like I get a chemical analysis with it, and the lead or what it's doing, they're doing it like sometimes for powder. A lot of times that's coming out of, like poorer areas where they're trying to doctor it up and they do things like that. It wouldn't survive the CO2 extraction. So even if they did it, it wouldn't. Yeah, for one, they wouldn't spend the money to do it on that, because it doesn't really, the color doesn't matter or anything. But even if they did the CO2 extraction process, I mean, they bomb the material with CO2, and it just breaks down all the physical material and just separates it out. And so yeah, it wouldn't survive the process.
right. That's
Yeah.
comforting.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I figure all of the oils that you offer, you're pretty what's the word? You're strict about what
I'm
you
super anal about the oils, like super anal. And like if we get something where, I don't know, if it smells a little too weird or a little too different or something like that, because it's never quite the same from year to year. Different years, the plants don't always smell exactly the same. It's little nuances. It's not like massively different. But if we get something that's a little too odd, we send it off and get it tested independently. And we have caught things where it's never seen the light of day on our end, but it was just like, I don't know, this smells a little too weird. And if it's questionable and wasn't very expensive, I give it to some soap makers that I know. But if it's something that's a little bit more expensive, I'll send it off and get it tested. And we have caught a few things that people were trying to slip through. Yeah. One of them was, it wasn't even essential oils. It was just chemicals and like this like liquid suspension, and it was a very expensive oil. And I went back and forth with the distiller, and they were telling me that I just wasn't happy with the scent. And I had meetings with them, and on Zoom and all of this, and then they were just telling me I was full of it. Sending it off to the place I sent it off to is up in Quebec. And yeah, I was totally right. It was totally just a fake oil. So we don't do business with them anymore, and it is what it is. Yeah, it happens.
So I integrity, that was the word I was looking for. I
Yeah.
know that your
Yeah,
oils
yeah.
have integrity.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we
in
get an analysis of what it is. Like for things to come in the country and everything, they have to have these like breakdowns and everything. And then I'm dealing with vendors most times, distillers that have a big track record. But if it's somebody that I'm not sure of, or I've never really done business with, sometimes I'll even hire somebody who's more of an expert at it than I am. That's just what they do, is go through and look at the analysis and the breakdown of it, and just to make sure. So There's this
Great.
one guy I know, he can tell you what kind of container it came in by the analysis. Like it came in a
Wow.
aluminum container, or it came in a like, you know, those special plastic containers, it came in glass. He can look at the analysis and tell you what it came in. Like that's how crazy these guys are about this stuff.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
friend to have. Yeah, very good friend
Right.
to have.
So back to the physical effects. Am I on the right track? I mean, I consider turmeric an anti-inflammatory, which
Yes.
is why I was taking it. So like taking 2 or 3 drops a day, is that something that you would
Yeah,
suggest?
turmeric's a great one to take internally for that, even to use topically. It can work very good for things like that. I like turmeric too because it minimizes some of the effects of inflammation on the brain. You know, same with black cumin and some of the other things that we use, but those are my kind of go-to ones for long-term anti-inflammatory issues, just because they hit it on the site, they hit it more in a systemic way through the body, and then they'll also hit it in the brain, you know, where you know, you might hit it systemically, but still some of that inflammation is making it up into the brain and potentially causing some other problems. And so the idea that you're using an anti-inflammatory that works on a lot of different levels is always kind of the goal. Like, you know, you want to prevent it from becoming systemic. And usually the things that you look for where it would be systemic is really bad, like bone on bone hip, bone on bone knee, but over a long period of time, and somebody who's being very active, you know. When it starts to be more about like joints in the hands and the feet, or even a little bit in the spine, it could be there, but they're either not weight bearing or there's not enough movement to really be concerned about the systemic thing. And when I say systemic, it's just there will be inflammation in an area, and then pretty soon that inflammatory will just goes through the whole body, and then it starts to just aggravate a bunch of other conditions. And so, yeah, the big concern is always the internal organs. You know, you want to keep it out of the organs.
Yeah, great. Well, I was told to do some anti-inflammatory stuff, and I've been, you know, I thought that would be a good one. So
Yeah, anything anti-inflammatory is also kind of a way to slow down the aging process. Like if you look down, because the aging process is just really an inflammatory process. So,
right.
you know, you reduce inflammation, you increase the potency or the function of the glands, you know, just like general treatments on the glands. You know, you keep working the lymphatic system a bit and support the nervous system, and it really can slow down the aging process. You know, it makes things not degenerate quite as much. You stay more alert, you know, and there's also, you know, reflection in the skin and in the face, and the collagen doesn't break down quite like it like normally would. And so, yeah.
Sounds like a miracle.
Yeah, yeah. Just keep working those basic things. And we're going to kind of even talk about that in the everyday basic thing, just like things to be doing. You know, just like treating inflammation and, you know, just doing it in a real basic way, not like trying to go after and treat a bunch of different conditions. And it's just kind of like what we're talking about, like the use of a handful of things can really keep the body in a better place and the mind sharper and things like that. So, yeah.
Yep. Well, that's all on my plate, so I'm happy to hear all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, good, good.
Well, thank you.
You're so
Thanks.
welcome. And we're going to, you know, in that class, we're going to talk about different footpaths. And when I was writing it out, I was thinking of you. I was like, yeah, we gotta like come up some good like little foot soaks for you for your feet.
For my poor little feet.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be great. I saw that you had that one Aura Cleanse foot soak in the newsletter this week. And I thought, wow,
Yeah,
that's
that's, I was kind of in the middle of writing it. I was like, I'm going to throw that one in there, but there's going to be one that's for just tired, achy feet. And, there's just going to be like little things that like, how like a lot of things that we do are these big giant protocols, but it's just like, hey, just everyday thing, like my feet are a little achy or tired or whatever. And you can kind of revisit some of the applications. And I'm going to have a lot of details about the different things you can do with like a salt bath or with a foot bath or things like that. And then taking things internally, just kind of a rule of thumb for just general things.
Oh,
It'd
I
be kind
love
of a
that.
fun, easy class. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I love the foot stuff, foot soaks, because I don't have a bathtub. So it
Yeah.
really then supports me that way. So thank you for
Oh,
coming.
good.
Okay, thanks a lot, Greg.
Take care.
Bye.